after the end of the Second World War, or after 1945, the world was divided into two power blocks. After the Second World War, America and Russia emerged as the two superpowers in the world, and the world was divided into two blocks. One was under the leadership of Soviet Russia, that is socialist bloc, and another one was under the leadership of America, that is democratic or capitalist bloc. So they started influencing the European countries, and America had their control mainly in Western European countries, and Russia had their control mainly in the Eastern European countries. And the bipolarism actually started. And that time, another movement started in the world, that is non-alignment movement. Non-alignment means not to align with any of the blocks. The newly independent country of Asia and Africa, like India and all, they actually wanted not to align any of the blocks, and mainly to remain free from any group politics, mainly to protect their newly independence. So they started, India, Indonesia, all these Asian, African and Latin American countries, they started one movement, that is non-alignment movement. Jawaharlal Nehru was one of the prominent leader or founding father of non-alignment movement. Marshal Tito, Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt. So they started non-alignment movement against the bloc politics. In this chapter, or chapter number 15, I will discuss about the non-alignment movement, the meaning of non-alignment movement, and after that, contribution of Jawaharlal Nehru in non-alignment movement, and mainly the objectives of non-alignment movement. So all I will discuss in this chapter, chapter number 15, ICSE class 10.
Okay, so non-alignment movement. In this chapter, we'll discuss about the meaning of the non-alignment movement, and after that, objectives of the non-alignment movement, then Panchashil, and finally, role of Jawaharlal Nehru. So this is mainly the meaning and objectives of non-alignment movement. The meaning of non-alignment movement. Non-alignment movement is the international policy of a sovereign state according to which it does not align itself with any of the power blocks. Power blocks means USA and USSR. After Second World War, we know that about the division of Europe, or politically, ideologically, Europe or the whole world divided into two groups or two power blocks. One was under the leadership of USA, another one under the leadership of USSR or Russia. So the non-alignment movement is the international policy of a sovereign state according to which it does not align itself with any of the two power blocks, and at the same time actively participate in the world affairs to promote international peace, harmony and cooperation. It is opposed to any kind of military alliance like NATO, CETO, mainly organized by USA, and Warsaw Pact by USSR. The non-aligned countries try to judge each issue on its own merit and do not follow the views of the superpowers. They actively support only that side which was right in their opinion. According to Jawaharlal Nehru, the policy of non-alignment is a positive and dynamic approach to those problems which confront us. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Marshal Tito of Yugoslavia, Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt, and Sukarno of Indonesia were the chief architects of the non-alignment movement. Now come to the objectives of the non-alignment. So the main objectives of NAM at the beginning was to keep away the newly independent countries of Asia and Africa from the superpower rivalry and to protect and preserve their newly acquired independence. The other important objectives of NAM are as follows. The first one is to eliminate all those causes which could lead to war. To eliminate all those causes, mainly Second World War or First World War, mainly the race of armament, the colonial rivalry, all this caused the war. So the main objectives of NAM was to eliminate the causes of the war. Okay, mainly to eliminate all those causes which could lead to war. The next one is to protect the freedom of newly born independent countries of Asia and Africa from colonial rule. So after Second World War, the decolonialization actually started. The process of decolonialization started after Second World War. The America and Russia, they became powers or the superpowers in the world. So they also supported the decolonial process or decolonialization. Okay, and the countries also started their freedom struggle against the colonial rule, and they got independence. Some of the countries, they got independence like India and all. So India and some countries from Asia, Africa also. So the one of the main objectives of NAM was to protect the freedom of newly born independent countries of Asia and Africa from the colonial rule. Colonial rule here means mainly rule of the Britishers or rule of the Europeans. The next one is opposed to colonialism, imperialism, and racial discrimination. Here, racial discrimination means they mainly opposed the cruel system existed in South Africa. It is apartheid system. Not only apartheid system, the racial discrimination in America, racial discrimination in Africa. So the NAM or non-alignment movement, or one of the main objectives of non-alignment movement was to oppose colonialism, imperialism, and racial discrimination. Okay. The next point is to encourage friendly relation among the countries. To encourage friendly relation among the countries. Number 5, to advocate peaceful settlement of international dispute. Mainly to advocate peaceful settlement or solve the international problems. Dispute means international problems, like Kashmir problem. Now it is an international problem. Okay, Israel or Palestine issue. So all these disputes. The next one is to strengthen the United Nations as an organ of world peace. Actually, after Second World War, United Nations founded, and the main objectives and aim was to maintain peace and security in the world. So United Nations main aim is to ensure peace and security in the world. So here also the NAM countries or the signatory countries of non-alignment movement, they also wanted to strengthen the United Nations as an organ of world peace. The next one is, or the last one is, to oppose the use of force and use of nuclear weapons. Okay, so mainly before Second World War or before First World War, we saw the race of armaments. All the European countries, for their colonial interest, they started strengthen their military power, and all this caused the First and Second World War. So to maintain peace and security, they actually they started to oppose the use of force and use of nuclear weapons. Okay, so mainly all these are the objectives of NAM movement. So the next one is Panchashil or 5 principles. What was Panchashil or 5 principles? In 1954, India and China signed an agreement containing 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. Those principles, collectively known as Panchashil or 5 principles, became the guidelines for the non-alignment movement. These 5 principles were mutual non-interference in each other internal affairs. The next one is mutual non-aggression or avoid wars, avoid conflicts. The next one is equality for mutual benefits. Okay, between countries, mainly between countries or between signatories. The next one is mutual respect for each other territorial integrity and sovereignty, means freedom. And after that, peaceful coexistence. So these 5 are the Panchashil or 5 principle, became the guideline for the non-alignment movement. And non-alignment movement actually started on the basis of these 5 principles. Now, there are some main architects of non-alignment movement or NAM. Firstly, Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of Free India, Jawaharlal Nehru. Then Nkrumah, and after that Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt, and after that Sukarno of Indonesia, and Marshal Tito from Yugoslavia. So they were some main architects or the main architects of non-alignment movement. Now I'll discuss about the role of Nehru in the NAM movement. The first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, played a vital role in the non-alignment movement. Under his guidance, NAM became a strong and positive force. In fact, India was the first country to introduce the policy of non-alignment under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru. Though Nehru was committed to Western concept of liberalism and democracy, he did not approve of the military or economic alliances like NATO, CENTOS, SEATO, etc. initiated by USA to contain communism, or the ones promoted by the Soviet Union like Warsaw Pact, Comintern, Comecon, etc. He opposed these alliances as he believed that they encouraged colonialism and imperialism and were likely to produce a race for armaments. Nehru was against the philosophy advocated by the two power blocs. He rejected the communist state as monolithic and described Marxism as outdated theory. He did not favor capitalism either and was influenced by socialism. He therefore strongly advocated the principles of democratic socialism. His policy of non-alignment, however, was not meant to promote a third bloc, but to ensure freedom of decision making of the recently decolonized states. Nehru was against the mad race for armaments and called the disarmament and abolition of stockpilers of nuclear weapons. It was in pursuance of his policy of disarmament that India signed a treaty in 1963 for banning atomic tests. According to many scholars, NAM has lost its relevance after the fall of Soviet Union in the post-Cold War world. However, even today, NAM is accepted as a popular movement. It continues to work as a global moral force. The NAM members condemn all acts of terrorism and express concern for global poverty, unfair trade practices. In a unipolar world, they can tell the US what is right and best for the world at large.
So this was the chapter. You need to study the topics which are in syllabus only, and the syllabus is given in the first page of every chapter. So follow the syllabus, study, and keep watching my channel. Like it, share it, and subscribe my channel.